right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our second podcast of the Morning Blend. Here
Is it really the second one already?
It is. Here with your hosts, Darian Atkins and
Cameron Price.
Ryan Pierce.
Ryan Pierce. And today we have a special guest host in the studio with us, and it is Alicia Rollins. Woo-hoo.
All right, hey.
Alicia is a fairly new employee here at LDCC. Some of you all who are on the other campuses, the community campuses, may not have had an opportunity to meet her. Some of you on the Monroe campus probably have seen her in the halls moving about, but you'll learn about her a little bit more in-depthly right now.
That's it.
Interesting.
Alicia didn't know about this part, y'all.
No, I didn't.
So, Alicia,
Get the agenda.
we have a few questions for you.
We figured you could handle it. That's why
Oh
we
my
did it.
Yes.
Darian always has high expectations.
Alicia,
Sheesh.
would you rather be a musician or a movie star?
Musician.
And why?
Musician all the way.
Why?
I just enjoy the process of creating anything. So I feel like with a movie star, you have less like participation in that creation process. And I just like musicians. That's the whole thing. So
You like musicians?
yeah.
Because that's kind of a different thing.
I mean, I like
Because it sounds like she's saying she's feeling the musician.
Oh,
You know,
same,
not like she
same.
wants to be one.
like both. It's
Oh.
just it's both. It's both.
Wait,
But
I need
yeah.
to tell you something.
What?
You're not safe on this show.
Oh,
Darian made that clear to me the last
Yes.
time
I
that this
see
is
that.
not a judgment
It's
free
not,
zone.
it's not a judgment-free zone.
It's
I'm
not.
okay to be, listen, I'm open to be judged, But yeah, no, musicians are cool. Like, I do enjoy the process of, like, hearing the way another person hears music and the choices that they make if they're, like, just creating or shedding or creating from scratch or whatever. So that's interesting to me.
Okay.
So musician all the way.
Okay.
What kind of musician would you be? Would you be a pop star, a
Oh,
rock
wow.
star? What would you
I
choose?
would be a John Baptiste. All of the
Oh,
above.
okay.
He's a good guy.
All of the above.
Okay.
But like probably more of a, if I had to make a genre, it would be like singer-songwriter. That's like PJ Morton, John Baptiste.
Yes.
All of those people. Even like an Esperanza.
Cool.
Ooh.
Love that.
The
Love
flair,
that.
y'all.
Yeah.
The flair.
Esperanza. They're just, those are like just really great. They're great artists, but they're also really great musicians too. They're really good at their craft. So
Absolutely.
yes, singer-songwriter for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
Ryan, what you got? She's flying through this.
I'm telling you.
This is a music question, so that's like the one thing I know something about.
So since we're doing music, do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Ooh, good one.
Anything Hamilton. Anything Hamilton.
Oh my gosh. Which
Anything
one?
from the
Oh, Cameron is having a moment.
I am.
Schuyler Sisters, Guns and Ships.
17.
Yes.
1776.
Brave knows the whole thing. My daughter knows all of the music.
Oh,
So
I love that.
yeah. So Hamilton soundtrack. I went to
Yes.
karaoke recently, and I didn't sing anything, but then we were just kind of just sitting there, and then the girls started singing Hamilton, and we were like,
I'm going to join
yes,
This is
I
our
will
time.
join. This is our moment.
Yeah.
You only have small moments.
It's a
like
sign.
that. It's a sign. We should
Okay.
do karaoke.
Most embarrassing moment. I got to get her away from music, y'all. She's having way too much fun.
Most embarrassing
Most
moment.
embarrassing moment.
Oh my gosh.
I think I got her, y'all.
Yeah, that's most embarrassing moment. Okay. I don't know. I guess this. Oh, there's two I can think of actually.
Ooh.
One was when I was dancing and we had like a halter top and it came undone. Thankfully, it didn't like come all the way down.
Oh,
But
my gosh.
I could feel it and I was like, oh my God.
That is
And
embarrassing.
then there was another moment where I got like heat rash in a parade when I was all dancing moments.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I had to go to the hospital. I had to go to
Were
the
like
hospital.
you scratching and itching?
Yes, like I had whelps like all over.
Oh
like,
my
and
God.
I had
It's
to go
like
to
you
the
were
hospital.
allergic to something.
Yeah, and it's happened more than once. But and they said it's heat rash every
in
time.
the middle of the
Really?
parade.
In the middle of a parade.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
It was bad. One time was in Texas too. I was like, I didn't go to the hospital that time, but one time was in Eunice, and I had to go to the hospital. So
Okay.
dance. That's why I don't dance anymore. Right there.
I feel bad for her now. Okay, so
I know. You're the one wanted these questions.
I feel bad. I'm gonna let her have her music back. Okay, so look, we have a question that we answer every podcast.
It's all of
Okay.
us though, so don't feel like
Okay,
you're
so I don't
all
feel
have to do it.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right. What is your favorite Thanksgiving holiday tradition?
Let me go first since I'm pressing buttons over here and I want to get mine over with. My favorite tradition, I have two of them actually. Number one, I'm always guaranteed to get sweet potato pie at Thanksgiving, and I love that very much.
yeah.
That's a quality one.
And the second one relates to, again, I brought back the same mug. I'm trying to put it on camera here. It's fall, y'all. You got to watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
That is
The
tradition.
family always gathers around and watches Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. So those are my two favorites.
That's it right there.
What?
Oh, my God. Hush.
Ryan!
It has to be a third one. It has to be a third one.
What do you mean there's only two?
Are we talking about something
Ryan
that
is
happened
the
on the last
odd
show?
number guy.
You're going to feel uneasy for the rest of
You
the day.
told me I couldn't come on the show and espouse all of the reasons why odd numbers were good and what that means. But I'm going to just say creativity. Those people that like odd numbers, your favorite number is an odd number, or you just are akin to odd numbers. Creativity is one of those things on the list. But I don't want to
Now,
digress too
look,
much.
I will say this, Ryan. Usually when I have examples, I do have sets of three.
Right. I mean, just think about when there's a tie and you have to break the tie. What breaks the tie? That odd vote, that other vote.
Now, Ryan, and look,
not an
now
odd
we can't
number
just
person.
throw all the odd stuff in there to make your point.
I'm not. I guess I have never given that thought until you just said that. 'Cause
Alicia's your op because she said she doesn't
I am
like
the
odd
op
numbers.
because I'm definitely an even number person. I didn't even think about it until you said that.
Tension. Oh my goodness.
This is why we're sitting
Sets.
with diametrically
Because
opposed.
sets. I like sets. Sets. 2, 4, 6, But anyway, love you anyway. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Okay, so the sweet potato pie and the Charlie Brown special. Yeah, I grew up watching the Charlie Brown special too, so I'm with you. And sweet potato pie is like the pie to
Yes,
have. You
it
got
is
to
a
have
pie.
it.
Has
And
to
you
be.
got to make it right. I mean, look, I'm just going to shoot straight. Look, in Black households, there are two things you don't mess up for the holidays. You don't mess up the sweet potato pie,
That's true.
and you do not mess up the macaroni and cheese.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm usually the macaroni and cheese person, ironically. You would have not thought that, but I make a great seafood mac and cheese, and it's chef's kiss. So
Yeah, my
so
sister is
good.
the macaroni and cheese person. I'm the turkey and dressing.
yeah, that's what
and
I
ham.
won't make.
Yeah, I can make some dressing.
Professionals.
Okay, I'll say my favorite Thanksgiving tradition is actually not on Thanksgiving at all. My family, we host a Friendsgiving on the
that.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice. I
And
like that.
We love getting together to celebrate we call it our family, friends/family.
Oh,
Love that.
that's cool. I like that.
So we play games, we hang out, relax, and we usually do something that's not Thanksgiving food. So, before Thanksgiving, you kind of have a good meal that's not the classic. So I think this year my mom's frying some deer meat up, and we're going to do kind of home-style food.
Love that.
Venison
that
is
is
nice. I'm a
cool.
fan. I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah,
I love Friendsgiving.
yeah.
Me
Y'all do that.
We do that.
Yeah,
We love a good Friendsgiving, Wingsgiving. Okay, is it my turn?
it is your turn.
Okay, so 2 things. One, you mentioned your family having deer meat.
Yes.
My family is from South Louisiana. We're from Opelousas area, Port Barry area. And so we do turducken.
Whoa.
And
You
that
know,
is a thing.
This is kind of great because somebody commented on our
On
Facebook
Facebook.
post asking, what is turducken?
Okay.
Turducken. So,
So
please
ex-
explain.
expound.
I would love that. I would love to tell you more about that. So turducken is turkey stuffed with duck and chicken. And it's really good. It's really, really, really good. And we've been getting it for probably about a decade now. My uncle, he works at LSUE, and he has a colleague at LSUE that gives him, that does it every year. And we cook it every year, and it's great.
So how does that
Wow.
logistically work?
You would have to ask the professionals. I'm
Because
not.
I'm thinking
I just know it's good.
a chicken inside a duck inside of a turkey.
Yeah,
a lot going on.
it's a lot
Yeah.
going on, but it's good. I promise it's really good. I also really like cranberry sauce.
Oh yeah.
So
I
like
gotta have that
nobody
with
else in my family
dressing.
really loves it like that, but
Oh, I
I
love
do. I have to have it. That's just, a thing.
Yeah. The whole berry or the jellied.
Jellied.
Yes.
Jellied.
Yes.
Jellied in the can. Yeah.
We had a family
Sliding out
member
with the
that
ridges.
Yes.
Need that.
we had a family member who accidentally got the whole berry cranberry sauce
No.
one year, and we did not let her live that down because and she just got it. I
was a
think
mutiny.
probably have looking at it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And because she knows we do the jelly, but yeah, we didn't let her live that down. One of the traditions that we have on, and it started on my husband's side of the family, so I participated once I was married. They go bowling the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Fun.
Yeah, that's always the thing. I got the text message yesterday saying who all is in for bowling on Friday so we can reserve the lanes.
I like that.
But yeah, so we
That's
go
cool.
bowling the day after Thanksgiving.
Love that.
And so besides the traditional getting around, the table, seeing everybody, hanging out around food and everybody bringing the best of what they make, to the Thanksgiving dinner. I love all of that too. And I do like that it's a time for that it's centered around stopping to take the time to think about being thankful for things, because it's so natural to complain and about what you don't have or the way things are or are not, that when you have a time where you can that's set aside specifically to be thankful,
Yeah.
it's great because we need those reminders. We need it more than once a year, actually.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, Ryan, what's up in news this week? We have quite a few things that's coming up that we have under the news category for this week. We have some new workforce programs coming out in 2024. Cameron, you posted about that on our social media, I believe it was. So what are
Yes.
those programs?
You have utilities linemen that will be on the West Monroe campus, electrical linemen on the Winsboro campus, and gas technician in Ruston and Jonesboro. So those are really exciting. We got so much reach and clicks on the social media posts that we did. So I think they're getting a lot of hype, and I think they can be really successful.
We need to have somebody on from that area to talk about these sometime in December.
I agree.
Yeah, just so that people can get more of an idea of what these programs actually look like, the length of them, when they're stopping.
I think they're all 16-week courses.
Okay, so that's about 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. All right, and Alicia, you have a new, I said we talk about her role here at Delta a little bit further in the program, and now it's that time because Alicia Rollins is actually the director for a new program that she's working on it right now, but it will actually open for students in 2024, and that is the medical lab technician program. So talk to us and tell us, what is that? Who is it for? When are you going to be open for students, and who are these students?
Right, absolutely. So a lot of people ask me, especially when I started talking about, coming to Delta, and we were in the process of just getting ready to start talking about the program, what is medical lab technician? And I had to speak to some students last week, and they had that very same question. So I like to tell them, whenever you go to the hospital and what happens? You get swabbed. And where does that swab go if you have a respiratory infection, or if you maybe have a UTI or something like that, and you have to have urine? Where does that specimen go? It's not the doctors back there running the specimens, putting them on machines. It's scientists. It's medical lab scientists. And so you have two particular, versions of those sciences. You have medical lab technicians, you have medical lab scientists. And so what Delta and ULM came up with this idea to merge a program where you have a 2-year degree program that's medical lab technicians, showing individuals how to do blood banking, so determining a person's blood type, how the specimens need to be stored, giving out blood products when someone is going into surgery, or things of that nature. Also, microbiology, that's another discipline of medical lab science. So being able to see unknown bacteria, being able to identify it, run the correct tests, doing COVID tests, doing flu tests, all the things that you need, strep, that you need to test for when a person comes into the ER, or when a person goes in to see their physician. Vaginal swabs, determining if somebody has a yeast infection, determining if somebody has herpes. All those tests are run by medical lab scientists. And so the program is going to prepare individuals in a 5-semester fashion. So it's almost about 2.5 years. And they'll be able to leave out with multiple certifications.
Wow.
So they'll be able to have a phlebotomy certification, a medical lab assistant certification after 2 semesters, and then after that 5th semester, they can go on, take their certification to be a medical lab technician and work in the hospital. And what's great about MLS is you can also travel. So very similar to like travel nurses, you can be a travel tech as well. And you can travel and go off, because it's a high demand healthcare field. And what I love about the program as well is it's going to have a bridge program into ULM. So after you graduate, the classes are going to be taught mainly here on the Monroe campus, but some of the classes will be taught remotely by ULM's professors as well. So you're not just getting a Delta education, you're also getting a ULM education as well. And then when you graduate from Delta, you can go work immediately.
Wow.
And then you can take your other 30 hours online at ULM, and then you'll be a medical lab scientist, and you'll have that 4-year degree.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
So I'm excited about it. I mean, I worked as a medical lab scientist. I never thought I would get into MLS education. Like, I just kind of like thought, I was a scientist some years ago, and now I'm in education, I'm in higher ed, that was like my past life, and then this opportunity came up, and I was like, it's a perfect, amalgamation of all of my gifts and skill sets and things that I enjoy doing, because I like talking about medical lab science all day. So it just gives me an opportunity to teach in the program, to lead the program, but to also help students. Like, many students that I encounter from high school, you ask, like, who was the demographic? So it's mostly going to be, I'm going to recruit high school students that are interested in science but don't necessarily know what they want to do. They might not want to go on to teach or get their PhD, but they want to be involved in science. This is a perfect program for somebody like that. But I've also encountered a lot of people that just want to switch their careers, like realtors and people that are in different careers that are like, man, that sounds interesting. And it's only 5 semesters, so that's also very enticing for people. So
Yeah, and that's just for the technician part of it. Now, to become a full scientist, it was an additional
30 hours. Yeah,
30
and they can do that
hours.
online, so they can work.
Yeah, they can get that done in 2 semesters, 15 hours a semester.
Right, for sure. It's seemingly quick. Like, it can be quick if you are really dedicated to it. And of course, there's some general education classes in the program as well, like some psychology, humanities, general.
So if you already have those, that knocks off the time.
Correct, which a lot of people have. A lot of people do. So that'll be less class. And some students that are already here have approached me and said, hey, I've taken these classes, but I'm interested in joining the program in the fall whenever it opens. So in the spring, we're going to open our registration for it. We're just confirming some of the curriculum and making sure everything is in alignment so that we can pursue the right accreditations and things like that. But ultimately, we're going to start accepting students in the spring. So it's going to be great.
So at some point here soon, we need to do a press conference so that we can formally announce that, because we haven't done that. And so we'll be partnering with ULM to actually to conduct that press conference. So that will be, we'll keep you informed on that one.
Awesome.
Okay. So Ryan, look, we want to welcome, I almost forgot this one. We want to welcome Marquise Jones to LDCC. She is the new Enrollment Services Coordinator here on the Monroe campus. So Marquise, if you're listening, and I hope that you are, hope that you will, welcome. We are so glad to have you. I believe you will enjoy working with Gwen and her whole crew. And we are happy to have you here on the Monroe campus. We know that you'll do a great job serving our students and working alongside our colleagues. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Okay, so in case you missed some of these events, Ryan has recapped some very recent events for you, from the networking lunch and learn over in West Monroe to the esports tournament competition to the Accent on Excellence Awards. Go Linda Brown and Deborah Cooper, who were the honorees for that. Also, the Thanksgiving luncheon, which we indulged in last week. And Liz and the Liz Ford and the rest of the CTE coordinators, well, some of them, Kimberly and Orlandon and Trayvon, were hanging out over at Carroll High School, giving them the drill on all things LDCC. They are working hard.
And yeah, actually, we have a few pictures, not a ton of pictures, but I was able to grab a few pictures before we got on the air. So this is a picture as in part of the recap, the networking lunch and learn. You have Misty Moore from Pharmacy Tech in the picture, as well as Nashad James from Business Office Administration Program, leading the charge for the Networking 101. And then the next picture, and Cameron, you can't see right now, but yes, Cameron, you made it on the show. Cameron got on, and she decided that she wanted to grace everybody with her networking
That's dirty,
story.
Ryan.
No. All right, because you can't even see what it's looking like right now. It's okay. We'll fix that next
No
time.
one's safe. He said that. No one's safe.
She felt so moved as to join the fray, and it was actually a great story. Did you want to tell that story?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a quick little anecdote. So I was at one of my first LYP lunches, Louisiana Young Professionals, and we were having Magic Grill, and I kind of came in late, and the room was full. So there was one seat at the front that I, went and grabbed, and a man who I was about to sit next to said, "Oh, you forgot your napkins. I made that mistake too." And I said, "Oh yeah, you're right," and went and grabbed my napkins and sat down. And then they started the program, and they said, "We want to thank the mayor of Monroe for being here today, Mr. Friday Ellis." And he stands up right next to me. I didn't know that it was the mayor, y'all.
Wow.
So the moral of the story was that you never know who you're sitting next to, especially if you're in a new environment. So network with everyone. Just be kind to everyone. Introduce yourself. And I told him that story the next time I ran into him, just to, say, "Hey, here, this is who I am," It's just
That is a great story, Cameron.
it was wild.
So, again, some more images that we were able to grab right before the show. The esports tournament, Mike won first place in this one, Michael Roberts. Congratulations to him. But also, if you look at the artwork, again, there's some of y'all, the viewing audience can see the artwork. On the CNC machine, the trophy or the plaque was printed. So that was all printed in-house.
Nice.
So we want to give a big shout out to Stephen Heidenreich. Thank you so much for that one as well. And then the final set of images are from the Accent on Excellence. Of course, again, congratulations to Miss Linda Brown and Miss Deborah Cooper for being awarded for being excellent instructors in their respective fields.
They really, really are. We have some great talent here at LDCC.
Yep.
Okay, so that was all of our, in case you missed it. We have quite a few things under upcoming events, too. So we have today. All right. a little mood music there. Today at 11 o'clock, we have Patience Tally's meet and greet over at the Jonesboro campus. So I don't know how many of us can hop over there to support that, but if you can, maybe a little slow week for some of us, do that. I'm sure she'll appreciate seeing other LDCC colleagues from different campuses there to support her in Jonesboro. Tomorrow, she has her meet and greet in Ruston, and that one is also at 11 o'clock. So that one's a little bit closer if you can pull off that drive over to Ruston to be a part of that celebration. Tallulah and Lake Providence are combining their employee luncheon on tomorrow at the Tallulah campus.
Awesome.
Yeah, good eating there. So maybe you can kind of go from Ruston over to Tallulah and get 2 meals, because I know they'll probably serve something great over in Ruston tomorrow.
Of course.
Tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. And then Allison Gold, I'm going to let you take that one, Ryan, because that's out of your department. I know you have all the pride in sharing that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we mentioned it one time before, but congratulations, Professor Galt, on a storied career at LDCC. And we're just so thankful that, again, on December 4th, we get to celebrate you. A lot has gone on a lot has gone on behind the scenes to make sure that, you have a good time, and that you're honored in the right way and all the best ways that we can. So a lot of folks really care about you. I've come to know this more. I mean, of course, a lot of students have been touched by you, but certainly all the people that have put in a lot of hard work to make this a success, they're really looking forward to celebrating you and giving you a wonderful send-off. And we expect to see you down the road. We don't expect you to be a stranger at LDCC. That's December 4th at the West Monroe campus.
30 years, man. I mean, 30 years is a long time in the system. So, yes, congratulations to Allison. And the last thing under upcoming events for this week is
It's her birthday.
It's my birthday week.
Look at the shirt.
Sunday. That's right, Sunday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday week.
So, yes, I get the whole week. I'm reading that down. Okay.
Yes, I get the whole. Well, look, I had it's my birthday month, too.
That's right. Did
Yeah.
you not wear that the last time? We were wearing the Happy
No,
Monday
we were wearing
ones.
the Happy Monday,
Okay.
but I've worn it every week because I want to get my money's worth.
So this shirt you're going to wear this every day. You're not washing this. So,
Yes, I'm going
I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you. I'm trying to get you. You got me like 3 or 4 times already.
Right. Because of Ryan.
I am not this. No, this is the last time I will wear this week. I'm going to wait on it's my birthday shirt on Sunday. I'm going to wear it then.
Okay.
Before we
Yes.
move on, for the meet and greet with Patience Tally, the Jonesboro one is on the 27th, so a week
Is
from
it the
today.
27th?
Yes. And because the Ruston one is on the 28th. Yeah, so those
Okay.
are next week.
Those are next week. Okay.
But
I'm glad
both
you
still
caught
at
that.
11.
The 27th and the 28th. All right, that is Monday and Tuesday of next week. Thanks. That's a good catch. All right, so we are
Yes,
moving down. We have an
transitioning.
actual guest, another guest in the studio this
That's going to
morning.
make
Whoa.
2 guests.
Look,
Wow.
right, we have a guest host today, and we have an actual guest.
Yes, our featured guest. Again, so proud to have her on the show. I was happy that she sent in a message to you.
She did.
The Week at a Glance came out, and she's raised her hand and said, wait a minute. There's something that you forgot, or maybe there's something that I forgot to share.
Yes, she was sharing that with us.
Yeah, and so we have on the show Miss Sandee Clawson.
Yay!
Welcome.
We're so happy. Look
for having me.
the magic of camera angles in the switcheroo, right? Now you just
Yes.
magically appeared in the shot all of a sudden. And we're so happy to have you on the show with us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the college?
Okay, well, my journey here at LDCC began, I guess, in about 2010. I was hired as a part-time instructor in the early childhood department, and I did that for, I guess, 8 or 9 years. And then the opportunity came open for the program director position. So I applied for that, and that's what I do now. So I'm the program director for the Associate of Applied Science in Care and Development of Young Children. And along with that responsibility is I am also the center director for the small child care center we have on campus.
Excellent. So can you tell us, what is the CDYC program? Since you mentioned it, what does that really mean?
Okay.
And what should one expect to learn, or what would the outcomes be if I went through that program?
So CDYC stands for Care and Development of Young Children. That's just a mouthful, so it's a lot easier to say, CDYC. And this program is for students who would like to work with young children, anywhere from birth to 4 years of age. They could get jobs in child care centers as a lead teacher, maybe early Head Start. In centers, they could get experience and become assistant directors or directors of those programs.
Okay. That's good.
So last week, we highlighted the program's most recent accomplishment. Can you tell us what that accomplishment was and what it means?
Okay, I'll give you a little backstory. Child care centers in Louisiana are monitored by the Louisiana Department of Education. And so they are inspected yearly, sometimes a couple of times a year, and a lot of those inspections are focused on health and safety. Background checks for employees, looking that they have CPR first aid, the environment is safe, the meals are healthy, and things like that. I think it was around 2015 they came up with another scale to kind of monitor child care centers, and we use the class rating scale. So we have observers that come in 1 to 3 times a year, and they're not looking at health and safety. The Department of Ed still looks at health and safety, but they are looking at interaction between the teacher and the children. And not only interaction, but concept development. What are we teaching? Are we asking children open-ended questions to get them thinking? Do we have hands-on things for them to explore? So what are they doing throughout the day? Is that teacher showing warmth and compassion to that child, looking at things from that child's perspective? So they come in and they'll observe you for 20 minutes, they score for 10, and they do that 4 times.
Wow.
In the morning while they are there. And so the highest rating is excellent. So our center, we just found out for the 22-23 school year, we got the excellent range.
Wow!
Yeah.
Yay!
Excited.
Congratulations.
And out of the 170, I believe, centers that were evaluated in Northeast Louisiana, there were 33 that got the excellent rating.
Oh, that's excellent.
Amazing.
Wow, and we were one of them.
Right.
So you were not a babysitting service.
Correct. We are definitely a learning center. We have a wonderful teacher in our classroom, Sarah. She is a graduate of our program.
Wow, how about that?
Don't you love that?
It's wonderful. And to tell you a little bit about our child care facility,
Yes.
Some people may not know, we do have a classroom here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And we enroll 2s, 3s, and 4s that are potty trained.
Mm-hmm.
And we enrolled children of students, faculty, staff, and the community. So you don't necessarily have to be enrolled in Delta to have your child come to the child care center.
That is awesome. Yeah, I don't know how widely that is known, but yeah, that's awesome that we're also open to the community.
And it seems like there's limited space because I would imagine that, you know, it's a small center. There's a selection process, obviously. So, I mean, how many spaces are there usually before you have to say, okay, that's enough?
We are licensed for 14.
14. That
Yeah,
wow.
that's as many as we can have at one time. And we do give preferential placement to, of course, to students and members, employees. And then, you know, if we have openings, we involve the community. And each semester, we usually have a child from the community that attends our center.
That's excellent. I just want to tell everybody that's watching or listening, think about it. You want to send your child, and they're always in their formative years, we can say, but certainly 2, 3, and 4 years old, you want to send them to a safe environment, the best education possible, and it's all right here at LDCC. So, I mean, this is just incredible information that you're sharing, Ms. Clawson.
And we also, the neat thing too is we have an observation booth. So students that are in our program, they can go in there for some of their class assignments and observe the children, and they can actually go in and interact with the children. And then parents, if they want to come by and see how their child is doing, but they don't want their child to see them, there's a separate entrance, and they can go into the observation booth and turn on the speaker, and they can see the classroom, and they can hear what's going on.
Wow.
That is really
Cool.
great.
Amazing. So,
What? Let me.
Go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
So we just added 2-year-olds
Correct.
to it. Why is it important for 2-year-olds to be in a learning center? Because you would think that they wouldn't necessarily have the capacity to learn so much. I mean, because they're 2. But I know that you know better. So
There, you know, there's so many things. We know that early childhood is the formative years. The things that happen from birth to 4 are just so important. for them to have, stimulation to their brain, to be read to be sung to have things to look at and manipulate.
Yeah.
That all sets the stage from birth. So even at 2, when sometimes I'll hear people say, well, they're just playing. When are you going to teach them something? Well, that's how they learn. Children learn when they're building with the blocks. There's so many, that's math concepts. Children learn when they're in the dramatic play area and they're pretending to feed a baby. They're learning spatial relations when they're putting a puzzle together. So playing is how they learn. And so getting them those opportunities and to help develop that brain is just such a wonderful opportunity for them.
Hearing you say that makes total sense. But naturally, when you look at them, it does look like they're just playing. They're just entertaining themselves. But like you said, it gets the brain stimulated and preparing to learn maybe those more specific, direct skills. But that makes all the sense in the world.
And setting the stage for them to learn sometimes on their own. When you put yellow and blue paint on the art easel, but you don't say anything. And they start painting, and they're like, Miss Sandee, I made green.
Yeah.
How did you do that? And they're like, I don't know. And so we talk about it. Look at the colors that you use. And so that's something that they're going to remember because they discovered on their own versus
Yeah.
me just standing up there and telling them, if you mix these 2 colors, you get this color. So you set the stage for them to learn and discover so that, they're curious and they want to learn. They think it's fun.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. When learning was fun.
It
Before
can
you
still
sit
be.
in a lecture, before you sit in a lecture environment, and
Yes.
it's like learning not so fun.
In our classes,
Sorry, Ryan.
we try to bring in the hands-on things in our CDYC courses.
Yeah.
So like this semester had the children from the center come out and our students planned process art activities with them. So
Oh,
the
wow.
students got hands-on experience working with children, and then the children got to participate in this fun process art activities.
And that is fantastic because you're really, catering to any type of learner that comes in. So, those children who learn by doing, they're going to get their fill. They're going to get what they need by, these very process heavy lessons. And I love that.
Right. And the same with our students. You know, everybody learns differently. So you try to have a variety of ways in which they can absorb the information.
And that same discovery process that you described that the little ones experience, you're creating the environment for our LDCC students to have that same experience because by them doing, they're also discovering. Yeah, so that's pretty cool too, and as you said, it caters to the different learning styles. Things stick with me more when I can read it, when I can experience it, when I can hear it. The combination of all of those things help me to put it together so that it makes sense to me, but also it helps me to retain what I've learned.
Right.
So, yeah.
Children learn through their senses.
Yeah.
So we give them opportunities to touch things, cut open a pumpkin and let them explore the pumpkin, smell the pumpkin, look at the seeds. Just dive in there with their materials. Taste tests. We taste test apples because some children maybe they only know about a Gala apple, but have they ever
Yeah.
tried a Granny Smith apple or an Envy apple? Depending on what they have in their home. So giving them these different experiences and lots of hands-on sensory experiences for them.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
they're
keep going.
usually much more open than than the older people. As we get older, we're less inclined. Yeah, we're less inclined to be apt to try all the things. But yeah, they're willing to try all the things, especially by mouth. I'm like,
Right.
why do they put everything in their mouth?
Everything.
That stage. That's how they're learning about their environment at that stage.
So if I could be a kid again, I definitely want to be at your center.
For sure.
Same.
So much
Same.
fun. We play and we learn and we have snacks.
Yes.
I
Feed
may
me, right?
just take my break down.
and naps.
Yes,
An
I'm
afternoon nap.
definitely gonna take
But
my
I
break
would
down.
ask this question that's very important because not only do we want to have young minds, 2, 3, and 4-year-olds in the center, but we also want to attract students that want to be a part of this learning experience at the collegiate level. So my question for you is, what is the demand around in the region for CDYC graduates? What types of jobs are available for those graduates?
There is a demand for childcare workers. I get calls from local childcare centers on a regular basis to let my students know that they're hiring, that they need caregivers and centers. And in Louisiana, if you are a lead teacher, you must have what they call an ancillary certificate. And to get that ancillary certificate, you need to have either your CDA or degree. And so once you're hired, you have about 2 years to accomplish this. And so this is the perfect program for that. And also students who have a CDA, when they come to us, they can bypass 2 of our classes.
Okay.
And then they can, enroll in our program and finish out their degree and, work in private child care centers, lead teacher, assistant director. Maybe they want to open their own child care center.
Okay, they can do that with an associate's degree. That is okay. And I don't think that we expressly said that you can earn an associate. Is it associate
And
of
it's associate of applied science.
science? Okay. That's
With,
great.
their degree coupled with experience, they can do that. And the last semester of the program, they get hands-on experience. Their last semester, they are in a child care setting, and they are working with a lead teacher that semester, the whole semester. So they are in the classroom, assisting that teacher, and then a few weeks out of the semester, they're the lead teacher, and they get to be in charge with the lesson planning, running the classroom, and the lead teacher assists them. So they're really they're diving in and getting that experience.
Wow, what a benefit to have that child care center on site for that, to aid that program.
Yes, we're very
And the
fortunate.
program to aid that child care center. It's a win-win.
And our center is filling up for January.
That is awesome.
The word is getting out.
It is. I have gotten a lot of phone calls, so we are close to being full. So if anyone is interested, they need to submit an application ASAP.
And that application can be found where?
Online on our LDCC website.
Okay. Under your program, correct?
Under the main page, it says childcare I'm looking for.
Okay, I'm looking for, in that
Childcare.
section, yeah, I'm looking for childcare.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. All righty, so that is Sandee Clawson with our great news, with her excellent rating for our CDYC Child Care Center. Okay, we're going to hop down to a little bit of history. So I am going to share today about, ta-da! Yes, a little bit of history, but this week's focus is going to be on the first employees. So some of you may or may not know the very first chancellor that we had at Louisiana Delta Community College was Lynn Kreider, and sadly he passed away. I think it was last year. But before he passed away, I got a chance to have a really in-depth phone conversation with him, and I interviewed him about his experience when he came on as chancellor, right before he came on as chancellor. And so I'm going to share some things that he shared with me. So first of all, Dr. Lynn Kreider was not the first person who was hired to be the chancellor
Really?
of Louisiana Delta Community College. The person who was hired very soon afterwards decided they did not want the job. And so
Shame.
the
Could have been the first.
Right?
the very first one, that's how it went down, y'all. And so Dr. Brown was the system president at the time. I never knew him. I didn't know who he was because this was before my time with the college. Like Sandee, I came on in 2010 in January, so this is all before me. But I have it on good authority coming from Dr. Lynn Kreider of how the events rolled out. So the first chancellor that was hired decided he didn't want to be chancellor, and so they called Dr. Brown, followed up with Dr. Lynn Kreider. He said he had gone through 2 days of interviews. They had called in members of the community, the legislature then, and just a lot of people and that were involved in the interview process, because prior to them hiring a chancellor, there was a ton of press around the concept of a community college coming to this region, and then determining where it was going to be. I mean, seemed like every bit of the conversation was documented in print form. So there were tons of articles that I've had the opportunity to go through and to read, following the conversation, following different people's perspectives of what this institution should look like, what it should focus on, how it should be run, and and where it should be. And so once Dr. Kreider accepted the position, he thought, which he had been passed up for the position, but then they reached back out to him. He came from Tennessee to Monroe, started the job May 1st, 2001. Now, remember that date, May 1st, 2001.
I wasn't
Because
born yet.
Don't remind us.
I mean, really, who saw that coming?
Didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming.
I was born in July that year.
Oh, well, how about
Oh,
close
Lord.
enough?
Okay. May the 1st, 2001, he was hired. At that time, no one else had been hired. A site had not been determined for classes because there was no building. We didn't have this building. So the first person that joins his team is a lady by the name of Carol Calthorpe. She was working at the system office in Baton Rouge, and Dr. Brown sent her to Monroe to help Dr. Lynn Kreider get things up and going. He said she was a godsend because she already had like 20, 30 years in higher ed at this point. She had worked for several governors, so she had lots of connections, and she also had a PR background. So she brought a lot to the table, and she was able to give him some direction and connect him to people that he needed to be connected to because he was from Tennessee, And so after he hired Carol Colthorpe, and I'll save that for another broadcast. He hired Glenn Roscoe.
Oh,
You know Glenn. Glenn
yes.
it was our numbers guy, and I think Sandee probably knows Glenn. He was hired as his finance person. Glenn was excellent with finances, handled all the money extremely well. After that, he hired our now system president, Dr. Monty Sullivan, 29-year-old Monty Sullivan. He said that he interviewed Monty Sullivan 4 times.
Wow.
And here's the kicker. He hired a graduate from Grambling State University for the Vice Chancellor of Academics position, the one that Monty Sullivan was interviewing for. And he said that at his first staff meeting, they were meeting up at a restaurant. This guy shows up with his suitcase and says, "I can't take it anymore. I've just, it's just too much."
Wait.
So
Wait, what?
the guy got hired and then quit. He's like, "I can't take it anymore. It's just too much,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, because now Dr. Kreider said, when he was trying to be open by August, of 2001. So this is May 1st he's hired. May, June, July, this August right here. This August. Not next August, this August right here, 2001. So they were working like 60, 70 hours
Yeah, right.
a week trying to, and so this guy was like,
I'm not doing
He
it.
couldn't
It's a
take
no
it.
for me.
he
It's a no.
came to the staff meeting with his suitcase because he wasn't from Louisiana. He came to this meeting with his suitcase and said, y'all, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
It's too much. I'm out. So then Dr. Carter calls Monty. It's like his own story, you know. And then he calls Dr. Sullivan back and say, why should I hire you? You know, because he was 29. He had been driving this vehicle around that, you know, kind of like the ones that we have that have the equipment in it, you know, doing the demos and, you know, teaching. So that's what he said he was doing prior to coming to Delta. And so he's like, you know, you're 29 years old with essentially no experience. You've been driving, you know, this vehicle around, you know, with doing demos or whatever. Why should I hire you? And he said, Dr. Sullivan told him, because I'm going to give you 110%. He said, good enough for me. So Dr. Sullivan got the job. And so after that, he hired Carrie Stickney. I don't know if, well, I know you when you weren't even born.
Wasn't she the registrar at some point? Or?
She was the registrar. She was the first registrar, Carrie Stickney. And then in IT, he hired Min Kim, who I heard was like a genius. I mean, his reputation really precedes him. And Dr. Kreider confirmed that. He said, you know, not only was he their IT person, but he also taught some IT classes.
Wow.
And then he hired Wendy Travis as his PR person. So she was the very first PR person, which makes me the third. It was
There was
Wendy
somebody
Travis.
before you?
It
Yeah.
was Wendy Travis, then
It's
Bob
shocking, right?
Jordan, and then it was me because Bob Jordan had the job when, he was quitting and relocating. And then I came right behind Bob Jordan. So I was actually the third PR person for LDCC.
And look
Yeah,
at you now,
but-
setting up a podcast studio.
Doing the podcast.
Podcast.
Morning Blend. Look at me now. I done made it big, people. Okay, so that was his all-star group, and they really were an all-star group. I mean, because they put in
The dream team.
I mean, they did. They put in a ton of hours because when you look at that, so he got hired on May the 1st. He then had to find his people in order to be open for classes mid-August of that same year.
That's wild.
May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
Without a home, without any resources. And I don't want to give away too much, y'all, because it is so much to this story. And I'm going to save the next part to next week. But y'all, the drama, it's like the days of our lives. I mean, when you hear all the backstory about how we were set up and the things that were going on, I mean, it really is like a soap opera. But that was his all-star cast: Carol Calthorpe, Glenn Roscoe, Monty Sullivan, Carrie Stickney, Min Kim, and Wendy Travis.
Wow. Well, that's a great story, and
Yeah,
it makes me want to know more. You know, so
Oh,
I
I've
can't
got
wait for the
so
next.
much more to tell. Oh my goodness.
This sounds like a book publication. So
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
got to do it. I mean,
And look, some things I can't even share publicly.
I know,
It's
right?
just like
I know.
the tea, people, the
The
tea.
tea.
Yeah.
I thought that was the Let Me Tell You
Tea.
section.
of the show
tea.
to morning tea.
Oh my
Morning
goodness,
tea.
the
Morning
tea.
tea.
Yes.
Morning tea at LDCC. Come
Well,
on.
All right.
Good
Those-
The
tagline,
morning
too.
tea
I
at
know.
LDCC.
That's
Well, Ryan's bringing it this morning, and let me tell you, what
Right.
you gonna tell us this morning?
gotta let the graphic go. All right, so and then let me tell you, actually, originally we had said that this section or this segment was going to be all about things that may be happening at the college, but are kind of underground. But we went off script this time, and actually, I just am giving you a did you know fun fact type of element to the show. Now, the question is, or the statement revolves around cream of mushroom soup.
What?
Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. Any of y'all familiar with that?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Okay,
familiar.
okay. Did you know that 40 to 50% of the annual sales of cream of mushroom soup occurred during the months of November, December, and just a little bit of January? Now,
I can believe that.
but the real question is, it's due to the prevalence of one holiday dish. Oh. Do you know which holiday dish utilizes copious amounts of cream of mushroom soup?
I have a guess.
No, it's not something
What's that?
that I
Green
make.
bean casserole?
Ding, 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 ding. Hey, you got it. That's right. That's right. Green bean casserole is the culprit. Now, as I was thinking about that yesterday, I'm thinking, man, that's an interesting fact. I don't really eat a lot of green bean casserole, but I do eat a lot of green beans. I like green beans. I might be one of those weird people that could just eat it out the can, throw a little salt, I'm good. I know, that's weird, right?
That's weird.
I just like green beans. My mom is kind of like that too. She said that.
I'm with you, Ryan. I like
yeah.
green beans too.
We're just weird like
I
that.
like them fully cooked, though.
Yes, with a little bacon.
Little ham hock.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, but
With grease in there.
Yes.
But the other question then is, do you realize how many different ways you can get canned green beans? And do you have a favorite? That was my question to all of us
I
today.
like the French style green beans. You
French
know,
style, like
the
a thin cut?
Yeah, those. I mean, those are good to me. I like them with potatoes too. There's the canned green beans that have the potatoes in it, and it's ham flavored. I mean, you literally don't have to put any seasoning with those. You just
Just warm it up.
cook them. Yeah, just cook them down to as flexible as you want them. But yeah, those are good.
I like cut green beans.
Cut, the
Yes.
standard cut, the
Yes,
whole
standard
green bean.
Cut, cut on both sides. That's what I like.
Yes, perfect. What about you, Cameron?
Straight out the can. I mean, I usually do low sodium just, to beat, but I usually put a lot of Tonys on them anyway. So that's how I grew up eating.
Ain't
on
nothing
'em.
wrong with that.
That completely negates the whole idea of low
I know,
sodium when you
I
put Tony's on there.
She doesn't want any extra soda.
Right. Because I'm going to
I can
add
trick
the
myself
gonna
into
add
thinking
it.
I'm healthy,
Yes, I'm gonna add the sodium.
In my mind, it's healthy.
funny.
Oh, goodness. Well, I appreciate y'all engaging in that part of the conversation with me. Apparently we all have an opinion about green beans. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I do like them. I just like them cooked with all the meat flavor in it. And those, I don't know, something about when those grandmothers, when they put that lick on those, that's their little touch to a dish, it just tastes so different. I could
Right.
follow the exact same recipe, and it just doesn't taste the same.
It's a love.
My sister found her grandmother's recipe for homemade yeast rolls. And I'm telling you, when that woman made those rolls, I remember as a kid eating them. They were so good. And my sister made it, same recipe. And I was like, they're related. They're cousins. It don't taste the exact same, as hers. But they're related. The flavor is there, but
It's not their pot. You're not cooking in their pot. You're
I'm
not cooking in their
telling you.
kitchen,
Yeah.
likely. You're not using that spatula, spoon, ladle, whatever it is. And you
They just
certainly
kn- I
probably
mean-
aren't bringing the love, as you said.
Right.
they just knew how to do it,
different.
man.
Yeah.
I'm
Completely
telling
different.
you. They just knew how to do it. So Monday morning motivation. I found this story.
There you go.
I found this story by James Baldwin, and the title of it, some of you all may be familiar with it. It's Why He Carried the Turkey. And I'm going to read it because it's very, very brief. In Richmond, Virginia, one Saturday morning, an old man went into the market to buy something. He was dressed plainly, his coat was torn, and his hat was dingy. On his arm, he carried a small basket. "I wish to get a fowl for tomorrow's dinner," he said. The market man showed him a fat turkey, plump and white and ready for roasting. "That's just what I want," said the old man. "My wife will be delighted with it." He asked for the price and paid for it. The market man wrapped a paper around it and put it in the basket. Just then, a young man stepped up. "I will take one of those turkeys," he said. He was dressed in fine style and carried a small cane. "Shall I wrap it for you?" asked the market man. "Yes, here is your money," answered the young man, "and send it to my house at once." "I cannot do that," said the market man. "My errand boy is sick today, and there's no one else to send. Besides, it is not our custom to deliver goods." We can tell this was a long time ago, because right now we can get Walmart delivered to the doorstep. Okay, "Then how am I to get it home?" asked the young gentleman. "I suppose you will have to carry it yourself," said the market man. "It is not heavy, that's Cameron, I'm getting ready to get, that's for these people born in 2001 saying, how am I supposed to get it home? Carry it myself? Who do you think I am? Fancy me carrying a turkey along the street, said the young gentleman, and he began to grow very angry. The old man who brought the first turkey was standing quite near. He heard all that was said. Excuse me, sir, he said, but may I ask where you live? I live at number 39 Blank Street, answered the young gentleman, and my name is Johnson. Well, that is lucky, said the old man, smiling. I happen to be going that way, and I will carry your turkey if you will allow me. Oh, certainly, said Mr. Johnson. Here it is. You may follow me. When they reached Mr. Johnson's house, the old man politely handed him the turkey and turned to go. Here, my friend, what shall I pay you? Said the young gentleman. Oh, nothing, sir, nothing, answered the old man. It was no trouble to me, and you are welcome. He bowed and went on. Young Mr. Johnson looked after him and wondered. Then he turned and walked briskly back to the market. Who is that polite old gentleman who carried my turkey for me? He asked of the market man. That is John Marshall, Chief Justice of the United States. He is one of the greatest men in our country, was the answer. The young gentleman was surprised and ashamed. Why did he offer to carry my turkey? He asked. He wished to teach you a lesson, answered the market man. What sort of lesson? He wished to teach you that no man should feel himself too fine to carry his own packages. Oh, no, said another man who had seen and heard it all. Judge Marshall carried the turkey simply because he wished to be kind and obliging. That is his way. So as we are moving into the Thanksgiving holiday, and we talked a bit about being thankful, sometimes showing humility and serving others is the greatest way to lead and to teach. Sometimes a lecture is not the thing. And as parents, Ryan, you and I are parents, and Alicia, you're a parent. Sometimes lecturing and constantly beating over the head isn't always the answer. And we have to think about that in terms of our children, but also other family members. You know, when you have a family that's gathering, you know, there's always that one, sometimes two, sometimes three, that show up and you're like, oh my gosh, they still don't have a clue. When you're getting together, there's two things I want to encourage you. Do what the Chief Justice did and choose to serve and lead by example with love. Try to reach your people that way. The second thing is suicide rate tends to peak through the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Reach out to others who may not have someone to share a holiday with, because holidays are a hard time. So extend your home, your festivities, your traditions, your customs to include other people who may not have someone to share that with. Bring them under your umbrella and let them partake in your Thanksgiving. A couple of quotes I want to leave you with. We talked about Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Charlie Brown said, "What if today we were grateful for everything?" What if today we were grateful for everything? Henry David Thoreau said, "I am grateful for what I am and have. My Thanksgiving is perpetual." So that closes the loop on my thought for Monday motivation. Be thankful today, but not just today. Let it be perpetual. Let's be thankful every day.
guess with that, we can say, see you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.